YouTube! My name is Scott and I just got around to watching Cobra Kai. So I'm up to Season 2, Episode 6, which is called Take a Right. And, I mean, it's a little light on the action, but boy, does it make up for it with some seriously dramatic moments. Let's see, how to split up. Let's start with the lightest part of it first. Over at Miyagi-Do, obviously, they're still trying to clean up, and in particular, there's this one really heavy stone that somehow got knocked over. And I say somehow because Dimitri, Sam, and Robbie all working together can't seem to lift it up. But that gets paused for a second when a bunch of the Cobra Kai kids, including Chris, who Dimitri and Robbie immediately recognize. And, they want to be part of Miyagi-Do, and they want no part of it. I mean, it makes sense, because, they just had to fight them. So, Dimitri and Chris immediately have, bad blood between them. And Daniel decides to give them a mission of lifting the stone up, the two of them by themselves somehow. And when it's not working, Daniel's trying to teach, the Cobra Kai kids what karate's really about. Excuse me. That's when he has to come clean as to the fact that for a while he was a member of Cobra Kai, and it made him just a violent and angry kid. Obviously he turned his life around. He made it better. And it was because, Mr. Miyagi didn't like the idea of him competing anyway. And I just realized I kind of skipped over the whole opening where you see somebody, cleaning up the Miyagi-Do dojo. And it seems like it's Daniel because, the place got trashed in the last episode. But then the person that walks in the frame is quite clearly a much younger Mr. Miyagi. And then it cuts to Daniel, starting to clean up on his own. But anyway, after Daniel tells everybody that, Dimitri and Chris go back out, and Dimitri was trying to explain to Chris the idea of a fulcrum before, but he didn't have something strong enough to lift the stone up with. So they get a couple of sticks of bamboo, which are, I guess, a lot stronger. And the two of them manage to lift the stone up enough so that they can get a hand on it, and then the two of them lift it up together, and they have an awkward, one thought was a high five, the other was a fist bump. But either way, it's obvious the Miyagi-Do kids and the old Cobra Kai kids are coming together. But then on the other side, things, at the beginning, Johnny's putting all of his students through intensive workouts, trying to figure out who trashed Miyagi-Do. Because he doesn't want to be that guy, I mean, he's trying to be the better man, if he's going to fight, he wants to fight with honor. But then he gets a phone call. I don't know why I'm so like this. He gets a phone call and he has to go. Johnny's going to take a little side quest while Kreese takes over at the dojo. There's some good news. I mean, I'd like to say he doesn't immediately start poisoning the minds of the students against Johnny, but, he's trying to obviously bring Cobra Kai back to what it used to be. What made Johnny such a success in life. He's trying... When Tori spars with another kid, he tries to get her to hit him when he's down. He doesn't out-hawk for what he did. He claims that, that since they're all Cobra Kai and they're all part of a team, they're all responsible, even the ones who obviously weren't there. So you got both Tori and Kreese kind of working on Miguel, which is unfortunate because, he's... good kid. I'm guessing this is setting up for a redemption arc for him probably... See, we're in Season 2, Episode 6. Probably next season. And it'll be too late for him with Sam because she'll be with Robbie because they're still awkward around each other, which is great, considering all that time they just spent trying to learn balance. But yeah. So, Johnny's side quest. So, Johnny's old gang from back in the day, they're still friends, which is good. One of them, however, is dying of cancer, which is not. and he goes to visit him in the hospice, and his other friends are there, and it's a nice little reunion, and trying to make his friend Tommy, the one who has cancer, feel better. He's gonna be out of here in no time, except the cancer's in his brain. But as it turns out, he can be signed out of the hospice for like 24 hours. So they go on a little road trip. They don't have their old dirt bikes, obviously, so they ride motorcycles. They stop at this biker bar, and Johnny tells them how, while they're rehashing old times, how he's reopened Cobra Kai, and how Kreese is back, and none of them are into the idea. There's another reference to Allie. There's actually a flashback shot of her when Daniel's telling his story, but that's not really important. So Tommy decides he wants to play pool, and there's this guy there who's just a total dick who gets in the way, and it leads to a fight. And I do love the fact that these 4 former Cobra Kais, including one who's literally dying, are able to handle this bar fight. But the funniest part to me was, like, obviously as soon as the fight is on, music kicks up, and the first line of the song and most of the chorus is, "This is a fight song." I just thought that was so funny. You got to kind of cling to that, because after this, Tommy and Johnny are having a heart-to-heart by the fire because their road trip involves camping, and Tommy admits that he was in love with Allie, and that's why he actually joined Cobra Kai. He wanted to be basically as cool of a guy as Johnny, as cool as he was in the 80s anyway. And I say hold on to that because the next morning, Johnny wakes up to Jimmy and Bobby, yelling at Tommy to wake up. And Kreese's speech at the end to the students about how, Cobra Kai is your brothers, your sisters, and all this, and Cobra Kai never dies. That's cut back and forth with scenes of, these older Cobra Kais trying to revive Johnny and the paramedics coming. And it's all going down to the tune of the Queen song, The Show Must Go On. So, the Cobra Kai kids are training. The older Cobra Kais are in the woods panicking. Daniel's teaching breathing exercises to Miyagi-Do. This is all going on at once. And, of course, they timed it perfectly so that when the very last thing that is said is Kreese saying, "Cobra Kai never dies," as the black bag is zipped up over Tommy. I gotta say, they did it really well. I felt for him. And for Johnny, who's, really trying to turn things around. And obviously, Kreese is going to derail that whole thing because I don't care how pathetic he seems, he's so up to something. And I'm not going to be surprised if Tori's a part of it. But anyway, that's what I think. What do you guys think? How about you let me know by dropping a comment below? Like the video, share it around, subscribe if you're so inclined. Hit that bell below there for the notification for the next time I put a video up. And until next time, I have been Scott, and this has been Just Got Around to Watching, an offshoot of opinions no one cares about. Everyone has opinions. This one was mine.